We're going to go right to solos. Yes, we're going to go right to solos. So we're just going to play the chart down.
Ken, so do you singers have a case of jazz ballad flu today?
Yeah, apparently. Yeah. My days are gone, so I don't want to sing. Here we go. Sorry, who's got a chart? So here's what we'll do. Oh, even better. Let's just do. Okay, so we'll do the chart down, and then we'll have a guitar solo on the first A section here. So what I'm calling the A section is actually A and B of the chart. Okay. And then. Yeah, and then we'll have bass take a half a chorus, C and D. We'll have piano take a whole chorus. Right. Yeah. Take a whole chorus, and then we'll have bass and piano split the last one.
So I do A, B, C, D, bass, E, F, piano, G, H.
So you're going to do A, B, C, D. Piano is going to take E, F. Bass will take G, H. That still leaves us. Wait.
Sorry.
So there's 3 choruses on this.
Yeah.
So you can each take a chorus. You want to take a full chorus with bass solo? Nice. Okay. You take the first chorus. Piano takes. Don't pay attention to this. Just listen.
All right.
Guitar solo for the first. Piano solo for the second. Bass, take the first 2 A sections of the third, and then everybody come in rocking at the bridge, which is letter K. And from letter K out, we'll just follow the chart. I would like to do this in time. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just right on letter A. In time. So that'll be an F chord, F7 chord on beat 3 of measure 1. That they took out because of the bump. Okay? So just write in on the guitar solo from bar 1. Just ignore the intro. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. So everybody in a bar 1. Yeah, so you have a B flat on beat 1 and then an F7 on beat 3.
Don't wait till part 2. Just write it. Okay.
Yeah, everybody write in on bar 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. From the beginning.
But the chord you're mentioning is already like that.
We're going from A, and it's the same chords as
The
the
very
B,
beginning.
pretty much, other than the ending.
Ready from the top. Letter A. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, stop. So I already said this a number of times. We're adding an F7 to beat 3 of measure 1. Measure 1. We're adding an F7 because that's the form. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. this is a jazz ballad, and this is our quarter note. The swung eighth note is boom, 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 boom. You kept playing a straight eighth, which tends to imply that we're going to a double time. You don't want to do that,
I hear that.
right? So,
Yeah.
and I definitely don't want a double time. I want to keep this as a ballad. And so now the snare pattern that you're doing with the brushes, something like that. I thought that was a little much.
Okay.
You don't need to do that much. You can also, at some point, if you want, go to the brushes to the right some of it. It's fine. Yeah, you can color up a little bit more. But make sure you're feeling that pulse.
It's hard.
I know.
It's slow.
If it was easy, everybody would do it. Right? No, I know this is challenging. I get that, but I'm throwing the challenge to you. Can you do me a favor? Play that pattern you were doing on the snare. That's different than what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do the 16th. So, and actually more of that swirl kind of thing. And you can get one of those every so often. Yeah. The 16th. You don't want to do too many of those.
Okay.
Like a little 16th kind of as a fill kind of thing at the end of a 4 and 8 bar phrase is okay. But if it's always a see, then I'm feeling a 16th subdivision, and that's not really it. In jazz, if we're playing 16ths, it's basically an embellishment of the eighth note, and we want to still feel the eighth note as the basic thing. But good job keeping the time steady. That's not easy in the tempo of the song, so that was good. So focus more on eighth notes in the solo. In jazz, that eighth note is basically the thing that we all kind of latch on to. And so I always say, look at what the melody does. If you know the melody. It's all quarter notes and eighth notes. Triplet. So we get that slow sort of eighth note triplet, we get the eighth notes. So see if you can kind of feel that pocket melodically. So rhythmically you were kind of all over the place. And there were some nice notes in there. Well, now we need to lock them into the rhythm. In jazz is one of those styles, and there's a few of these, but jazz is a style where the rhythms of our melodies are as important as the note choice. So that's what we need to think about, is locking that in. Let's try this again. Same exact form. Everybody's got it? We go right from the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4. but that approach to rhythm in a jazz solo is definitely what you want to focus on. If it's a fast tempo, if it's a slow tempo, think of the 8th note. And then embellish, triplets here, 16th there, but always try to come back to that 8th note to the chord. But that was that's much more the approach. And then, yeah, even it can be difficult comping while the piano's soloing, but I wanted you to do a little bit of that. So it was fun. Good job. Nice. Tempo was better. Yeah, well, the tempo was not bad before. It was the subdivision. You were putting 16ths and then 8ths that were straight. But this was better. Just thinking about more of the, keeping that nice, easy going flow. Very nice job. The diminished chords. How are you treating the diminished chords when you're soloing here? They seem to be getting by you a little bit.
I just think about maybe something like a chord tone or the hold up above the chord.
Yeah, you don't want to think about whole tones because that's a completely different chord type than a diminished chord. Yeah. It's not going to give you the minor third and the diminished, well, it'll give you the diminished fifth. So, but one of the ways that in a song like this you can think about the diminished chords is as leading tone dominant chords. So in other words, a B diminished would be like a G7 flat 9. Or a B7 flat 9. Or, B flat 7 flat 9. Because it definitely has more of that kind of function. But I don't think you want to do whole tones over diminished chords. That's not going to fit. So what's happening and what I'm kind of hearing is that you're changing the quality of it. So and there's a few of them in this song, right? So yeah. So when I do this chord, I can think about B flat, E, or G, 7 flat 9. So play a B flat 7 chord.
B flat 7.
Just play a B flat 7 chord. Now you play a B. That's the chord. All goes together. So B flat 7, flat 9 going to B flat minor is kind of the motion there. Exactly. You hear it? Do C minor and then that and then B flat minor. That's it. That's the quality of the motion we need to hear. So you can do B flat. So and those seventh chords can substitute by minor thirds, right? So you could also do D flat 7, E7, or G7 and get the same effect. You just got to look at the voice leading. But that's how I would treat those.
Then why here's we need to write down as a B diminished?
Well, because it is a B diminished 7. That's how the song's written. I'm just telling you as a soloist how I would think about it.
Okay.
That brings out the notes that sort of point out the function. Now, if you do a diminished scale to that, a diminished scale is a whole step, half step,
Yeah.
right? And that's different than a whole tone scale.
Yeah, sure.
Much different. So you could do that. I find thinking about seventh chords, for me, is melodically a little easier. But different people have different ways of looking at that. Generally, I try to think about diminished chords being seventh chords. Yeah. But if you find it easier to think about that whole tone, half tone, whole step, half step scale, that's also fine. Okay, next. This is a long song, so we're going to switch over now. Next group, Takako, come on up. I need to check with everybody. I need to schedule a final on week 11. And I was basically waiting for my own schedule to kind of settle. But it looks like the easiest time for me is going to be on Wednesday morning. And I'm going to